Hi everyone, welcome to week 11 of our Smart City course. I am Dr. Priyansh Singh from IIT Indore. Today we are going on a journey across 5 continents to study how cities are using technologies to solve the real people's problem. This is not just about using the fancy technologies, gadgets. It is about making the life better for people. So let's begin. So this week 11 will be consisting of 5 different lectures. In this first lecture will be about the India's own smart city mission, and will focus on the examples from Pune and Surat, which are the 2 of our best performing smart cities. And then we will travel all the way to the Barcelona in Spain, and then Singapore, then Amsterdam, Netherlands. And then we will try to put all things together, see what works, what doesn't work, and how we can apply these lessons in India. So let's start with our own India's related study. So in India, the smart city mission started in 2015. In this year, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Smart City mission. The goal was to transform 100 Indian cities through technology and better infrastructure. The selection was competitive. The city had to submit their own proposals. Not everyone got selected for this Smart City mission. This pushed the cities to think carefully about what they actually need and what their peoples actually need. The funding model is important here. The central government gives around 50% of the money, and state government contributes around 25% of money, and the rest of the money need to be arranged by the city itself. This ensures everyone have some skin in the game. The cities has to propose 2 types of solution. The first was based on the pan-city solutions, the small solution that affects the overall entire city. Next, we have the area-based development, which focus redevelopment in specific areas of the city. And crucially, the most important thing here is the citizen engagement, which was mandatory. The cities has to show how citizens participated in the planning of the smart city. So let's take the first example, first context of a smart city from India, and that is the smart city Pune. Now the question is, why Pune as our first example? So Pune is called the Oxford of the East, a major educational hub. It also have a lot of IT centers with young tech savvy population. But rapid growth in Pune brought serious problems, and those problems are related with the traffic congestions, too many vehicles, several water bottlenecks here and there, and the rising population. Then we have issues related with the water supply, no consistent water supply, not 24/7 water supply, and around 35% of the water lost during the transmission distribution through leakage. The third important issue or challenge was related with the governance, the fragmented services across the multiple agencies, and these agencies most of the time don't talk with each other. So Pune focused on 4 areas which are related with the mobility, water, governance and environment in order to transform its existence as a normal city towards the smart city. So let's see what Pune did in order to improve the mobility. So Pune attacked first on the traffic problems on multiple fronts. They introduced the public transport, they modernized it, they introduced the PML bus fleets, which includes over 1600 buses with GPS tracking, the real-time passenger information, and the smart card for the payments. They have developed the BRTS corridor. They developed around 104 kilometers of dedicated corridor with intelligent signals where the bus gets priority. Also, they developed the Pune Metro, which is having a length of around 32 kilometers, and this cuts out the travel time by 60% as compared to any other mode of transportation. They also implemented the intelligent traffic management. They used over 1200 CCTV cameras to monitor traffic and public safety. They use AI powered signals that adjusted based on the real time flow, not the fixed timers. They also developed 150 plus EV stations for charging of e-vehicles, and they also implemented more than 500 smart buses in the city. Based on this, the key results what observed, there was a 25% reduction in the consumptions, 60% reduction in the travel time, and 30% reductions in CO2 emissions. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs actually cite Pune as the best practice for other Indian cities to follow. The key technologies which was used to make the mobility smarter was the GPS tracking, AI signals, smart cards, the real-time traffic data, and CCTV network. Now let's see how Pune has improved the condition of water and governance. So Pune water transformation was very ambitious. They want 24/7 water supply for everyone, for every household. And currently most Indian cities get water for only few hours in a day. So they implemented SCADA. We have already seen what SCADA is in our previous modules. So this SCADA is actually a nervous system for water pipes. So sensors here monitor supply and distribution in real time, and they also installed around 2.5 lakhs of smart meters for accurate billings. So any leakage in the pipe system get detected by the sensors and get solved or maintained immediately. For governance, they created Pune Connect app. The citizen can pay their bills, they can register their complaints and track water consumption from their phones. Most importantly, they built an integrated command and control center, ICCC. This was actually the digital brain for the city, and it integrates the surveillance from all the CCTV cameras installed, the real-time traffic signal control, SCADA for the water monitoring, and smart street lighting control. They also created a SULA, a single window solution for 90 plus services like the building permissions, trade license and property taxes, etc. Let's see one more study from the India, and that is about the smart city Surat. Now let's talk about the Surat. This is India's fastest growing city and its diamond and textile hub. But Surat story is remarkable for another reason. In 1994, Surat faced a devastating floods. The city was in the crisis, but they turned the disaster into an opportunity. Today, Surat is ranked number 1 in the Swachh Sarvekshan 2023 along with Indore. That means it's India's cleanest city now. They implemented over 200 projects with the cost of around 3,200 crore rupees. The key challenge they addressed in this duration was flooding. That means whatever the annual flooding was there that was damaging the homes and as well as businesses, they reduced this flooding. They also worked on the waste management. That means the rapid waste management generated from the industries and household, how they manage these waste. Also the industrial pollutions, the textile industries, pollution from these type of industries were impacting the air and water quality. So their focus was on the resilience, cleanliness, sustainability and industry. So let's see how Surat has transformed this flood problem and waste management problem into a solution. So Surat installed around 44 IoT sensors which monitors the river level and rainfall in the real-time basis. Their early warning system sends automated alerts via SMS, app and physical sirens. The smart valves installed on the water systems and tide gates prevent any backflow of the water during the high tides. Let's compare the scenario of 2006 versus 2020. The flood damage in the city was reduced by 85%. The response time for this crisis improved by 70%, and the affected population based on by this flood dropped by 90%. Then let's see what Surat has done in order to improve the waste management. So Surat achieved 100% door-to-door waste collection with GPS-enabled vehicles and RFID tagged bins. They built a 15 megawatt waste-to-energy plant processing unit which utilize around 1000 tons of waste daily. Through biomining, they have reclaimed around 100 acres of old dump sites. Their process capacity today is around 1800 tons of waste per day and generating around 15 megawatts of power. Their goal is to become a zero waste to landfill. Now let's see what Surat has done in order to improve the infrastructure and safety. So Surat implemented the smart LED street lighting. They have installed around 85,000 plus smart LED lights with remote monitoring. These lights were capable to report faults automatically. There was no waiting time for the complaints and then go for the maintenance. Also, they save around 50% of the energy through the dimming when they are not in use. They also provide the adaptive brightness based on the traffic and time, and this actually results in the saving of around 25 crore rupees yearly. Also based on the CCTV networks, because they have installed a lot numbers of camera, around 6,000 plus, with AI powered video analytics. This also features the face recognitions, automatic incident detections and integration with the emergency services. This results 35% reductions in the crime in Surat cities. So the key achievement what we see from the Surat was to become a cleanest city of the India in Swachh Sarvekshan 2023, and also they make themselves flood resilient, which is actually model for all other cities in India. So let's see what we have learned from the case studies of Pune and Surat. So first, they both have the committed leaders who championed smart city vision and drove implementation across the departments. The active citizen participation in planning of the smart cities and the feedback loop ensured the solutions really met the need of the people. The breaking down the departmental silos through the integrated central command center and unified platforms enable holistic solution for the city. The real-time data collection through the sensors and IoT devices and analytics enabled evidence-based policy and rapid response. Also, delivering visible improvements early build public support and momentum for the large projects. So in overall, we have seen both cities demonstrated that the smart city success requires more than technology. It demands strong political will, citizen trust, integrated governance and sustained commitment to solve the real urban challenges. So that's it about the first lecture of week 11. Thank you.